There you guys are. So today I will be reviewing Teardrop by Lauren Kate. And this book was really, really good. I was kind of going into it a little bit cautious because I loved Lauren Kate's Fallen series, absolutely adored it, and just it's very near and dear to my heart. And I was cautious because I was kind of afraid that the main character in Teardrop would sound too much like Luce. Thankfully, the author did not do that. This book is so unique and different from anything really that I've ever read in this type of world. And if you haven't checked out Lauren Kate's books, I highly recommend her. And I would recommend starting out with the Fallen series and then moving on to this series because there's only one book out and there's 5 and a book of short stories for that. So, yeah. A short synopsis. Teardrop is about a girl named Eureka. Her mom recently died when she and Eureka were driving on a bridge, and this freak wave just went over the bridge and caused their car to go into the ocean. Eureka doesn't know how she survived, but she did, and her mom died. And the book starts where it's been about 3 months after that accident. And you follow Eureka and her life, and you learn the interesting facts of her mom and the fact that this freak wave may have not been what you expect. So, if this sounds interesting to you, then definitely pick it up. I'm about to discuss the entire plot, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then leave now. But the book is very good. I give it 5 out of 5 stars, and I could not rave even more about it. So, if you haven't read it, go read it, and then come back and we'll discuss. Okay? Bye, non-spoily people. Okay, so my initial reaction to this book is holy cow, poor Eureka. Because it's only been 3 months since her mom has died. And obviously she's still very traumatized. Which means that she's very timid, she's very cautious, and borderline depression sometimes. Or depressed. And we can obviously see that since the book, the very first chapter, starts out when we see Eureka talking to a psychiatrist, and they're basically going over what happened when her mom died. And I like this approach because we're meeting Eureka for the first time, just like the psychiatrist. So when Eureka is spilling to this person, we get to meet her just like this person does. And I love the inner monologue that happens, just like little things that Eureka adds. She's very funny, well, when she's in a good mood, and the things that she adds when she's sad and upset just really make those scenes that much more depressing. Okay, so did anybody else not trust Brooks? Like, from the beginning, I did not trust him. I had this whole, theory that he had magically made himself be her best friend, when she was born. And, when she was born, he found her, and then he's like some mythical creature thing, and he's just been her best friend, and now he's starting to show his true colors, and he's gonna try and hurt her, and he's gonna kill her, and all this stuff. That ended up not being true, but I did not trust him at all. And Ander. I loved Ander. First of all, I just love the names in this book. Eureka, Ander, Brooks. They're not your average names. And Eureka, just good job with the names. So, Brooks, I didn't trust him at all. And, yeah. Another thing that I liked about this book is the fact that we're still, Eureka is still in school. She's still, your average high schooler. she's still trying to go through life, and you see someone who's been traumatized trying to move on. And that's a very interesting take, because I feel like a lot of authors, when they're talking about a character who's been traumatized, they kind of forget about school, and they forget about the fact that, like, they still have a family, and that's nothing I liked. Eureka's family and, like, her parents and her siblings were very much a part of the story, whereas a lot of times with YA books, the parents are almost non-existent, and the siblings, unless they're near the same age, don't matter. But with this book series, or with this book, Eureka's siblings matter a lot. And I like that, because it's showing that family does matter. The book is very fast-paced. I mean, I read it over the course of 2 days, and that was 2 sittings. So it's very fast-paced, as are all of Lauren Kate's books. And as I stated previously, Eureka's character is very unique. She isn't like anything I've ever read before. And when I saw this cover, as you can see, Teardrop, when I saw this cover, for some reason, I instantly thought mermaids. I have no idea why, but I thought mermaids. So I went into it going, okay, what's it going to be about? What are, like, the supernatural aspect? What's it going to be? So, and when it turned out that it was Atlantis, and that sort of, ended up being sort of mermaids, but not really. It was really cool. So, I've never really read anything like this before. I mean, the whole Atlantis is going to come back, and it's not like evil mermaids. Kind of like, what's the author's name? Kind of like Amanda Hawking's route. She kind of took the evil mermaid approach, and I actually didn't read those books, so I was like, that's a little weird. But I definitely like the whole Atlantis thing. It's cool. And when we learned that Brooks had been taken and his body was being used as a vessel for Atlas, I was like, whoa, wait. So my theories were somewhat true? Because I knew not to trust him during the book. And if Atlas has been taking over his body, then that makes sense. So I like that. That was cool. And okay, so the fact that Eureka couldn't cry just made me cry. Like, can you imagine not being able to cry? It boggles my mind, because especially being a girl, whenever you're upset or frustrated, your first instinct is to cry, and then once you cry, you feel better. And the fact that she's not able to just breaks my heart, because we, as girls, we know it's a wonderful outlet for your emotions, and to think that she's had to bottle it all up inside for so many years, it's hard to imagine, and it hurts. In the end, when her stepmother died, I honestly wasn't that sad. I mean, I felt bad for the twins, because that was their mom, and the mom actually cared for them, whereas with Eureka, I felt like she really didn't like her. But I felt bad for the twins and her dad, because they lost someone that they cared about. But with Eureka, I don't know, I almost was like, yay, but in a sense, I was like, oh, for them. But I didn't care. I don't know, I didn't like the character. So I think her name was Rhoda. I don't know. Rhoda. Yeah, that's how I pronounced it, Rhoda. So, I didn't care that the character itself had died. I cared what her death meant to other characters. So, I am really excited for the next book. I can't wait to learn more about this world and what Eureka crying means. I ship Eureka and Anders so hard, it's not even funny. And did anybody else love the Book of Love? Just those little snippets, like the emails and stuff that we got, that was so cool. And I want to know if that's based off of like actual legends, or if it's stuff that Lauren Kate made up. I don't know, I'll have to look into it. And I also loved I also loved Miss Blavatsky. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. Blavatsky. I loved her character, and I also loved the birds. And the fact that Eureka, when she'd be chasing the birds, be like, oh, I'm sure it doesn't look that weird. I'm only chasing a bird, And I couldn't help but laugh and giggle at those moments. It's like, oh, And she'd pass, like, the male person on this route. She'd be like, oh, hey, I'm chasing a bird. Talk to you later. I don't know, it's funny. So, and another thing I'd like to point out is that this cover. Now, normally, I don't like it when there are people on the covers of books, because you're basically telling me that I can't imagine the character the way I want to. But for some reason, I love this cover. The color scheme, I love this color scheme. It works very well with the story, and I also actually really like the model. And while I don't imagine Eureka this way, I don't know, I kind of think of this as like a younger version of her mom for some reason. And I don't see it as Eureka herself, but her mom, Diana. So, it's a very pretty cover. But there were models in dresses on the Fallen series by Lauren Kate, and I adored those covers as well. I think because we never fully saw her face, it was just like a side view or a hind view. I don't know, those covers work really well with the series, and so does this one. So, yeah, kudos to you for knowing how to use models correctly, unlike some books. So, yeah. I am very excited for the second book. I don't know when it comes out, so I'm very excited for it. I'll definitely have to Goodreads it. So that's all I have for you guys today, and I will talk to you guys later.